I'm Marilee Caruso. It's Monday, August 11th. Today, a slow reaction. Fire destroys a St. Vital home. Why there are questions about how long it took for fire trucks to arrive. Also today, health and safety.
Stop with the blame game and start working for Manitobans like you promised them you would.
A call to make Manitoba's largest hospital safer after another assault. Plus,
I'm John Hendricks at the Casa Dominio Pavilion. I'll take you behind the scenes coming up on CTV News.
good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. Fire has destroyed a Winnipeg home, and there are questions today about how long it took firefighters to respond. Crews were called to South Walk Bay in St. Vital around 7:40 last night. When crews arrived, the house was consumed by flames and heavy smoke. Firefighters attacked the fire and tried to prevent the flames from spreading to nearby homes. A neighboring home did sustain some damage. The blaze was declared under control around 9:30. One resident says it took fire crews a long time to arrive.
As I talked to the captain, who was on shift here, and he knows my dad, and he said the reason why the delay is the station responsible for this area was out on another call. So they had to pull trucks in from a different area. That's the reason for the delay. That's what I was told. So by the time they got here, the garage was fully engulfed. The house was pretty well gone.
The union representing Winnipeg firefighters says it took crews about 10 minutes to get to the burning home, which is well above its target response time of 4 minutes. Winnipeg Fire Paramedic Service Deputy Chief Scott Wilkinson tells CTV News, quote, at any given time, some of those units will be assigned to calls or unavailable for operational reasons. For time-dependent calls like medical emergencies or fires, the closest fire or paramedic unit is assigned. This makes them unavailable to respond to other emergencies. Wilkinson went on to say that in 2020, the Winnipeg Fire Paramedic Service launched a plan to ensure it's well-positioned to respond to emergencies in our city. As for the house in St. Vital, it's a total loss. One firefighter sustained an injury during the response but did not need to go to hospital. CTV's Danton Unger is looking further into this story for you tonight. Watch for his full story later on CTV News at 6. A man has been arrested following a sexual assault near Health Sciences Center. It comes just over a month after 4 women were sexually assaulted near the location. In an email to CTV News, police confirmed officers responded to an incident on the north side of William Avenue, across from the hospital's adult emergency department late Thursday night. Police say a woman was found by hospital security and brought inside for care. A short time later, officers located and arrested a 39-year-old man in connection to the incident. He was released on an undertaking. Now, the incident comes just days after the Manitoba Nurses Union voted to grey-list HSC, designating the facility as an unsafe working location. The provincial Progressive Conservatives say it's just one example of how the Manitoba NDP government is failing on its promise to improve health care. Leader Abhi Khan is calling on the NDP to act now to improve working conditions for HSC staff.
They asked for safety in their workplace. They asked for swipe cards to access hospital tunnels. They asked to create an early alert system to warn staff, and they asked to make sure controlled entrances and staff are maintained. That can all be done today. The Minister of Health and this NDP government have the authority to do those things today, and they are choosing not to.
A spokesperson for Health Minister Yusoma Asagawa tells CTV News, we're working to make HSC safer after years of neglect by hiring more security staff, installing AI weapon scanners, and adding 100 new cameras. There's been little change in the province's wildfire situation, although some precipitation this weekend gave crews a chance to shore up defenses. The city of Thompson says a number of teams, like the one seen here, were busy creating fire guards north and south of the city. In some cases, clearing as much as 4 or 5 kilometers a day. It's a similar situation in Snow Lake, with the town saying enough moisture came down to suppress the fire for a few days. Crews are using the opportunity to attack the fire closest to the community, which it says could pose a danger if winds shift directions. The town also says after 3 days, crews are almost finished clearing a road into an area to the northwest so hydro crews can start repairing damaged infrastructure. Pinaoa rescue crews aided by EMS and RCMP rescued 5 people from the Pinaoa Channel Saturday. In a post on social media, Pinaoa Fire Rescue says 5 people who couldn't swim and were without life jackets or paddles were stranded in the float channel and were overwhelmed by swift water. Crews responded to a 911 call and successfully reached the 5 and brought them to safety. Members of Brokenhead Nation have voted against a proposed partnership with a silica mining company. CO Silica, an Alberta mining company, offered to give the First Nation a share of the profits from its proposal to drill a number of wells in southeastern Manitoba for silica sand. But according to the results of a referendum shared by the First Nation on social media, a majority of members voted no to the proposal. Chief and council say they will respect the outcome. Brokenhead Nation is located about 70 kilometers northeast of Winnipeg. And Interlake First Nation celebrated a local hero who is just 18 years old. Peguis First Nation held a community celebration Saturday for Carter Bear. Bear played in the Western Hockey League and was recently drafted 13th overall earlier this year by the Detroit Red Wings. Chief Stanbird described the pride the community is feeling.
I mean, we haven't stopped telling people where he's from and what our connections are to the community, and it's a real positive thing for our youth to see, to be a part of. It really is a part of history. So what other 18-year-old Indigenous person is being drafted by the Detroit Red Wings? I mean, just walking into that's history itself, right?
Bear was busy signing Detroit Red Wings t-shirts, and organizers also offered up free hot wings to the crowd as a nod to the NHL team that drafted him. The Manitoba Eco Network is looking at how extreme hot and cold weather affects people and ways to keep people safe.
It's better to take a look at what people are already doing and to bring that up north here before we need it in like an emergency. It's better to have that in place to protect people preventatively than as an emergency.
The survey of 142 West End homeowners and renters found more than 85% experienced negative impacts as a result of extreme temperatures. Between 38 and 52% said they struggled to pay their energy bills. Based on the findings, the Eco Network made 7 recommendations, including limiting maximum indoor temperatures to 26 degrees Celsius as the number of hot summer days increases.
Right now, the city of Winnipeg sits at around 57 extreme temperature days throughout the summer during the year. But with those emissions levels increasing, with the more carbon being released, those days are going to go up to either 81 to 101 days in the summer, depending on those levels.
Other recommendations include incentives to help increase energy efficiency, creating more green spaces connected to cooling hubs, and designating cooling in extreme heat a vital service for renters. All right, let's bring in Colleen Brady now and get a first look at your Skywatch evening forecast. That heat not causing so much of a problem tonight, but you are tracking some rain, it looks like.
Rain, and as for extreme heat, not this week, folks. We will have some hotter temperatures as we go, but for the most part, temperatures actually below normal. In part, yes, because of what we're seeing behind me. Another week of instability bringing non-severe and severe thunderstorms to southern Manitoba and next door, pushing into northwestern Ontario. So we do have several regions under a severe thunderstorm watch across the south. Winnipeg not under the watch, but the southeast corner of the province in red under a severe thunderstorm warning. So that means this line of storms right here crossing the Piney area is severe at this point. I'll have more details on that and the latest with the air quality alerts that continue for Manitoba, northwestern Ontario tonight coming up. Let's take a look right now through the Bathfitter Live Eye. Bathfitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years. Very busy right now, as you can see on Portage Avenue, with a little bit of light rain coming down, 18 degrees, strong and gusting northwest winds. The pressure's falling and the humidity is 98%. Out on the roads further down Portage Avenue, Portage at Hargrave, the last report I had is that the lights were flashing red in all directions.
I'm John Hendricks outside the Casa Dominio Pavilion. I'll show you why coming up on CTV News.
Get Winnipeg's top stories, breaking news alerts, and watch live. Download the CTV News app.
All right, let's head over to the Portuguese Pavilion at Folklorama, where John Hendricks is standing by. What are you up to tonight, John?
Well, Marilee, you will notice that I am not inside the Casa Dominio Pavilion. Instead, I am standing outside. Thank goodness they have a tent here so that I'm not getting hit by all of the rain. But the reason that I am out here is because not all of the food at this pavilion is made inside. In fact, a pretty important component, the chicken, is being barbecued outside. And this is actually, you can see, a barbecue. It's a rotisserie grill, not exactly like the kind that I have in my backyard. This one is big, it's industrial, and it is brand new for this pavilion. So I'm going to chat now with the man behind the grill. Paulo, maybe you can just tell me, how is it going so far?
It's going well. Like, it's was a challenge, kind of a challenge yesterday, because it was new to us. Like, I never had used it before. I was a little bit skeptical about it because, like, I didn't know how this would work. So it was a little challenge in the beginning because, like I said, I never used it. So it was a little bit like I used too much charcoal, which I don't need to. So today I used not too much, not enough. So it's a challenge. Like, I'll have to play around with it to see what's the best setting for it.
Yeah, how do you figure out how quickly you need the chicken to be going?
Look, right now they're not even cooking well. Like, you can see, like, and it's not going very fast. And there's not a lot of heat, so, but I'm gonna probably put a little bit more heat in a little bit and see how it's gonna work out. So.
Let's talk a little bit about some of the stuff that you put on it, because obviously you're not just sliding those chickens in with nothing.
No, like in here, I put spices in here, which is pepper, paprika, garlic, and bay leaves. And then I'll cook all this together, and then it comes a paste like this, and then I'll just spread it on the chicken and then let it cook.
Very similar to the Colonel's secret spices. You've given a little bit away of the recipe. I'm sure there's a few other things that you're keeping.
Which I'm not giving away.
It's exactly like the Colonel. You got to keep those secret spices.
No.
So let's talk a little bit about how people react, because obviously chicken, very important in the Casa Dominio Pavilion, right?
Yeah, but like, it's one of the most thing that we sell, it's chicken. And like, we have chicken inside that they cook in the kitchen, but it's not like this one. Like, this one has a little bit spices and different stuff on it, and it tastes way better than, I like it better here than the one they cook inside. Like, nothing wrong with it, like, it's chicken, but I personally like this one better than the one they cook inside.
Well, there's something about having it on a grill, right?
Yeah,
that brings out that...
Like, the charcoal itself, like, it gives a different taste.
That's right.
You know, like, well, now you cook it inside in the ovens, which is totally different than if you cook it out here.
Well, if you come on down to the pavilion, you will have an opportunity to do the Pepsi Challenge and try both of them. And Marilee, that is something I intend to do myself.
I was going to say I am up for this challenge, John. All right.
It's a good one. It doesn't get much better than that.
We'll check back in with you in a bit. Thanks, John.
See, as you can see, the colors are...
The stage is set for Winnipeg's biggest street party of the summer. What's in store for this week's Burt Block Party? And we got more local entertainment news on the way in Spotlight.
Spotlight, sponsored by the Casinos of Winnipeg, presenting Brett Kissel.
Colleen Brady is back now for Spotlight, and get ready because downtown Winnipeg is about to turn up the volume.
Is it ever? The biggest street party of the summer is back. Crews are getting things ready on Smith Street outside the Burton Cummings Theatre. The Burt Block Party is celebrating its 5th year already with an unforgettable lineup this Thursday through Sunday. Now, the lineup includes Dean Brody, Marianas Trench, the Glorious Sons, and Kim Mitchell.
So you watch the sun go down. It's great music in a Manitoba summer night, surrounded by your friends and maybe 4,000 strangers, and you have a beverage in your hand. So it's a combination of Manitoba summer nights, great music, cool environment, and just a lot of fun.
Now, full festival passes are sold out, but individual tickets are still available at burtoncummingstheatre.ca.
I was at it last year. It really is a great venue.
Big party.
If you can get a ticket, it's a good time. All right. This past weekend was a weekend to celebrate local entrepreneurs.
It sure was. Local Entrepreneurs of Winnipeg hosted its flagship event, the Summers of Local, over the weekend. Over 70 businesses showed up on Sunday, and organizers say they're expecting more than 100 for their next event. Food trucks, local makers and vendors, free kids activities all involved. Organizers say the goal is to celebrate the hardworking local entrepreneurs.
It's giving an outlet for different people with different ideas. Maybe you're a maker, maybe you're an artist, maybe you just have a good eye for certain products that people love. So we celebrate that.
The final summer market is set for the end of August in the parking lot of Outlet Collection Winnipeg on Sterling Line Parkway. And over at the Red River Exhibition Park, the Winnipeg Tattoo Convention marked its 7th anniversary over the weekend, hosting 270 tattoo artists from Brazil, South Korea, Vancouver Island, Newfoundland, New York, and California. Attendees could take a photo of an art piece they liked, bring it to an artist, and get it tattooed on site.
Part of our job is to give guidance and let people rely on our years of experience. So as people that have made mistakes, collected many tattoos, we often have insight as to what will work, what will not, what could lead to regret, and what will lead to being a satisfied customer.
I hope none led to regret, Marilee. Now, along with new tattoos, attendees could also get existing ones removed or reworked, hence the regret, I suppose.
Kind of cool.
It is very neat.
All right, John Hendricks showed us week 2 of Folklorama. Kicked off on Sunday. He's having a ton of fun already.
He sure is. Now, the celebrations are in full swing for one more week. Welcome to the Romanian Pavilion. The Mocanitsa dance team is doing a rehearsal before their first performance. Also taking the stage is the Balada dance group, which includes both adults and kids. It's the first time in several years the pavilion has featured a children's group.
I'm really excited to see the little kids on stage. I saw them practicing yesterday, and they're just very excited. There's one dance I really hope everyone gets to see. I'm not going to spoil it, but they may have some props on stage, which will be fun to see.
Get this, Marilee. Try the vampire ears. Now,
what?
That's right. You heard me right. Pun intended.
Oh, this is Romania.
Yes.
That makes sense.
That's
okay.
right. They're deep fried dough sprinkled with a secret garlic salt. Now, the Romanian Pavilion runs through Saturday at Bronx Park Community Center.
I didn't
those
think vampires like garlic.
I don't know. Maybe
it's a trick.
I guess their ears are tasty.
I think the message here is the vampires will be scared off, so you can enjoy the treat. All right, thanks, Golly.
You're welcome. Your primetime lineup kicks off at 7 with American Ninja Warrior, followed by Match Game and E-Talk. Wraps up the night at 10:30, all right here on CTV. Well, with the rain coming down, try, if you can, to see our live look out on Confusion Corner. Busy but moving well. 20 degrees with some of that rain moving through the city. I'll have the latest on those severe thunderstorms coming up.
Women's clothing provided by RW & Company. Salon services provided by S&Teak Spa Salon.
CTV Skywatch weather brought to you by South Beach Casino and Resort. Visit southbeachcasino.ca.
Well, the rain has stopped for now for Winnipeg, but as you can see, it's on again, off again. We've got all these thunderstorms moving across the south. It's the southeast corner that we're keeping our eyes peeled on. That's where a line of severe thunderstorms is moving through the region right now. This really originates right around the Falcon Lake area south to the international border. These storms are moving east at about 35 kilometers an hour. They're producing hail up to the size of ping pong balls. I should be more specific there. Strong gusting winds. Ping pong balls, what do you know? Okay, so watch for those that hail coming down, sizable hail. Let's put it like that. Some very strong wind and an awful lot of rain is coming down too. We have air quality alerts that continue. All these areas lighting up in orange, including Winnipeg, east into northwestern Ontario under a special air quality statement. The smoke has been improving from west to east throughout the day, but it will be a brief break. More smoke is coming in later tonight. Much of northern Manitoba, at least north central and northwestern regions under that continued warning. Showers and thunderstorms crossing the north as well. well. Those are non-severe, any thunderstorms that do flare up there. Much heavier rain by late tonight makes its way into northwestern Ontario. Watch for thunderstorms there. We'll see skies clearing briefly for a few hours overnight. Here in the south, we've got more rain crossing parts of the north and into northern Ontario. That smoke is going to come back in along northwest winds over the course of the day tomorrow, so that smoke really not going anywhere for the time being. We see some skies clearing though as we get into Wednesday. That precipitation that you saw there staying to the west of Manitoba, but precipitation very much in southern Manitoba tonight. Showers likely to resume here in the city. Don't be surprised by a thunderstorm either. 15 degrees our overnight low. Winds out of the northwest at 20 kilometers an hour. They will strengthen and gust, bringing back another round of smoke. There's a chance of showers in the morning. Smoke will move in throughout the course of the day. A high tomorrow of just 21 degrees. The normal high is still in the mid-20s. Sunshine by Wednesday, still 22 degrees, back up to 27 on Thursday. A chance of showers, maybe a thunderstorm. Sunshine Friday, 23 degrees. And then again, slightly below normal for August, the weekend ahead. A mix of sun and clouds Saturday and Sunday. 22 is the high Saturday. A little warmer Sunday, getting up to 24 degrees. Now, Dale took this photo walking around the Exchange District over the weekend, and he says if you look closely between how the trees are shaped and the buildings, you can see the map of Manitoba emerging there. I can see it. Very cool. It's pretty neat. And yeah, great with that smoky sun there too. And a lot of folks sent photos of double rainbows or just rainbows over the weekend. Thank you so much. This is one from Karen out near Woodmore. That's not too far from the U.S. border. Send us your photos to winnipegweather@ctv.ca.
Thanks, Colleen. 4 cyclists crossed Manitoba on Saturday, quite literally. The 4 set off from the Manitoba-Saskatchewan border at 12:01 a.m. Saturday. Their goal was to reach the Manitoba-Ontario border in 24 hours. One of the cyclists, Charlie, was the one who came up with the challenge to mark his sobriety anniversary. I can tell you that the group took on the journey to promote an alcohol-free lifestyle. Some have been sober for decades after years of struggle, and at 11:32 p.m. Saturday, the group emailed us to say they had in fact reached the Ontario border after cycling 482 kilometers.
Well done.
Yeah, good work. All right, some rain this evening.
Looks like it,
in the area, so grab an umbrella if you're heading out.
And watch out for thunderstorms too.
And there you go. We will be back in a half an hour with much more local news. Hope to see you then.